More boost to Nigerians' digital economy. The Japan International Cooperation Agency and the federal government of Nigeria have signed a $30 million grant agreement to establish startup hubs in Abuja. The landmark initiative underscores Japan's continued commitment to economic cooperation and sustainable development across Africa. The project comprises two key components, which is the first is the development of a cutting-edge startup hub valued at $9.9 million to be implemented by the National Information Technology Development Agency. The second component, worth $21 million, is the project for the development of a supporting environment for social startups in Nigeria, which will be executed by the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority. Senator Atiku Abubakar Bagudu, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, signed the agreement on behalf of Nigeria, while Mr. Yuzurio Susumo, Chief Representative of JICA Nigeria office, signed on behalf of the Japanese government. This project marks a significant milestone in Nigeria-Japan bilateral relations. Senator Magudu said it reflects our shared vision for innovation-driven economic growth and youth empowerment. We might say that this is actually a good one, a good move. Well, last, if we may take back our thoughts.
Pray that they utilize this fund in ensuring that the purpose of which it was given is being used. Why I'm saying this is because in Nigeria, we like talking. We talk without action. We propose without implementation. Right? Today, they have come up with a beautiful idea on the need for us to have what? To have a grant that can enable us build a what? A hub, right? Startup hub that will, if eventually it sees, you know, the light of the day, it will create job opportunities, empower youths, you know, in the digital, you know, economy, right? But my fear is that will this not be one of the many grants that has been given that at the end of the day, we don't see anything on ground? That should be a question for another day. But my concern is that just as they have signed it, they should make sure that this money is being used for. I think the proposed year 10 or term is 2030, right? By then it will be completed, isn't it?
Yes.
They should ensure that this project is completed within the shortest time, you know, frame, so that at least the youth can have something, you know, doing. That is the few things I can say in respect to this. But I'm not, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't completely say that the step is not in the right direction.
Yes.
It's a good one, you know, but let us see it, you know, manifest. Let us see it working. Let us see it visible. And if we, at the end of the day, we see these things, I will be the one to come and see that, yes, President Tinubu has done well in this area, right? Has done well in the aspect of youth empowerment, in the aspect of job creation. I will come out to say it because I have nothing against anybody. He is our president, but it shouldn't be one of the promises that they will make. It shouldn't be one of the grants that they will collect. Then at the end of the day, it will see the light of the day.
Okay, Comrade Oniam, thank you on your thoughts on that. I actually wanted to ask you a question on the utilization and implementation of most of these grants. Let's go back to the USAID funds that have been disbursed to Nigeria for some period of time, before the president-elect, President Trump, decided to withdraw that fund to further notice. We just hope it's not a terminated one. At some point, I really don't know if there was a check on how most of that funds were utilized. We know the American culture of process. When something is done, they want to check how was this used, what was it used for, what is the results of this fund that has been sent to you. We know in a country like Nigeria, we really do not practice that culture. Yeah. It's a kind of thing that we release funds and really do not do a proper check or follow up on to know how the funds are being utilized. But at some point, especially when there was a statement that was raised that the U.S. the U.S. aid funds were being used to sponsor terrorism in the country. I think that was when the U.S. government had to take it upon themselves to know literally how those funds were being used. Is there no possibility that most of these countries that grant those funds, that give those grants to Nigeria, will do a follow-up to know literally, yes, because this is a bilateral trade here. I'm not sure they release those funds just to give them out. It's an agreement. It's been signed. Okay, let's invest in this and get a return out of it. Because if we look at the employment, the youth employment sector, we hear the news everywhere that the employment rate is literally not a strong one. Look at the health sector, look at the electricity, look at most of the sectors we have in the country. It's literally not a strong ground. Is there no possibility that most of those countries that give those grants will do a follow-up, a proper check to be, I really would need to know how most of those funds will be used?
I think I wouldn't say that they don't do. They do, right?
Okay.
But to me, I think it's not that adequate. Like today, if an NGO needed something from foreign partners, they will ask you to itemize what you're going to use that grant for, right? Now, after doing that, they can release the money. But I don't know if on their part, they have been following up adequately.
Okay.
Right? I don't know. That is the aspect I don't know. But it should have been ideal that they do a proper follow-up. But mind you, we Nigerians, we are cunning. Have you given somebody a road contract and after everything, we will decide to abandon the road and snap another road and show to you that this is the road, and you agree? It happens. It happens in one of the commission. So we Nigerians, we are cunning. We are cunning. We are manipulative when it comes to the issue of money, fund, right? So we, as a people, can even deceive them. We can deceive them.
Okay.
So as for that, I don't know how we are likely going to do in order to balance, the monitoring aspect.
Okay.
An average Nigerian man can deceive you easily, and you even you even agree to what he's telling you. I've just given you a scenario of how somebody can just snap a road, a good road that is constructed somewhere, and you present it to you that this is the road that I built. But the people who are there knows fully well that he hasn't done that road.
Okay, and then the other thing is, all observation, is this just a grant that is just for the FCT? Because there are other states like Ondo, Osun, Borno, Plateau, mention them. Is this grant just for a particular part of the states, of the country, or it's just a general thing? Because, like I stated, there are other countries that are also in need of things like this.
And another thing too, it depends on the governor. It has to do with interests, right? it has to do with the interest.
This was actually to the federal government. So now the question is, will it be disbursed to most of the states?
To other states.
So it gets to other states, because it cannot just be in the FCTA.
That is what I will not know. You understand? Because I'm not one of them, and I don't really understand how they works. Right? That is what I don't know. But what is stated here is that the hub is going to be built in Abuja.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't know if the money eventually comes. Federal government will, in their own wisdom, will decide to maybe disburse it to states, some states, you know, to also have a fair share of the grant. That I don't know.
And then the beneficiaries will not be hand-picked individuals that will benefit from it.